Right. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and great glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone that rule well, and salutations to the elect, pushing this truth to the four corners of the earth in truth and in sincerity. Right, in this particular video, I want to touch on what DHS is claiming, and DHS is the Department of Homeland Security. And the reason I say claiming, because to me, this is just the next step of Esau's plan. And I'm pretty sure you brothers understand that too. Because in one breath, they're saying right-wing extremists. Then they say religious extremist groups may attack the power grid. Really? Really? How the fuck a regular old Joe Schmo is going to attack the power grid? All right? And then in another breath, they're saying, well, Russia might attack the power grid. It might be a cyber attack and might shut off the U.S. power grid. So which one is it? Is it Russia going to do it, or is it Trump supporters, or is it religious religious extremist groups, as they would call us? You know, I'm just going to call it how it is. When they say religious extremist groups, that's just like an opening to come fuck with us. That's just what it is. But anyway, this right here reminds me of the plague that happened in Egypt, where Yahweh told Moses to stretch out his hand and he will cause a thick darkness to fall upon the land of Egypt. And this is modern day Egypt right here. This is spiritual Egypt, spiritual Sodom. This is spiritually a lot of places, but I want to focus on Egypt. And what happened with Egypt was that plague of thick darkness fell upon. All right. And the Lord also said in 2 Ezra 15:11, we're gonna get that He's going to smite Egypt with the plagues of before, roughly paraphrasing that scripture. So it's not far-fetched for a cyber attack to happen, or Esau to cyber attack his own spot. And all hell break loose because there's no computer, there's no phone, there's no street lights, there's no anything out here. So and with that, if that shuts down, then what's going to happen? The grocery stores are going to be ransacked and robbed. And 2 weeks later, when people's food go bad, with no refrigeration, cannibalism will start to set in. And then a month, cannibalism will come back in a very big way. Alex Jones was talking about it before. And he said something very interesting. He said, yes, he would eat human meat, because they had a clip of him saying that he'll eat his neighbors. And he said, you know what? I probably would eat my neighbors, and I think you'll do it too. That's what he said. And he's right. Not us men of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai and women of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. Not us, I'm talking about the population. And what backs him up is I went around my job, right? And I started asking people if they were caught up in a famine, no food, no food and water in sight. They don't know when's the next time they're gonna get their hands on some food and water. They're losing weight, they're weak, but they ran up on some human meat. Would you partake? And they said yes. 99% said yes. And they just didn't say yeah. They was looking at me like I was crazy and was like, nigga, I'm smashing. I'm tearing that up. And one dude started breaking it down. He was like, I'm gonna bust my wife down, and after I skin her and gut her real good, she 120 pounds, so I'm looking about 80 pounds of meat right there. He was breaking that shit down. They was talking about throwing each other on ice and making jokes about it. Even the dude went home to ask his mom and then came back and told me his mom talked about throwing his ass on ice. So this time is coming up is going to be terrible. If Esau does this, hey, don't be surprised. It's not far-fetched. We're going to get the precepts. All right? And this time right here is what is going to be worse than any other time. We're talking about Jacob's trouble. So it's going to be worse than the account. The cannibalism right now is going to be worse than the account that happened in 2 Kings chapter 6, 25, I believe 25, 26, and maybe 27. Where the mother struck a deal with the other mother to eat her son today, and they're going to eat the other mother's son the next day. Y'all brothers know the story. After they struck that deal, he said, we threw him in a pot and we did eat. Killed the son. Ate that motherfucker. And the next day, the other mother hid the son. So hey, it's not far-fetched. It's about cannibalism's coming back in a big way. Right? Anyway, let's get these precepts, and I'm gonna play this video up. All right. This is Exodus 10 and 21, darkness over Egypt. And Yahweh said unto Moses, stretch out thine hand toward heaven, that there may be darkness over the land of Egypt, even darkness which may be felt. And Moses stretched forth his hand toward heaven, and there was a thick darkness in the land of Egypt 3 days. They saw not one another, neither rose any from his place for 3 days. But all the children of Israel had light in their dwelling. Right? And hey, the elect is going to be taken care of when all hell breaks loose in the darkness and cannibalism is popping. The Lord is going to take care of the elect, man. If that happens, the Lord got the elect. Like 2nd Ezra 15:11. And we read, but I will bring them with an almighty hand and a stretched out arm, and smite Egypt with plagues, as before. Right? As before, right? And today, we're living in modern day Egypt, spiritual Egypt, and will destroy all the land thereof. Right? So like I said, if this happens, it's just a plague that happened before to Egypt that's happening right now. And we're going to play this.
Of Homeland Security, DHS, is warning that Russia may pursue a cyber attack against the U.S. as tensions escalate over Moscow's buildup of forces near the border with Ukraine, according to multiple reports. The DHS bulletin, dated Sunday, outlined that Russia could launch such an attack if it perceived any U.S. or NATO response to be a threat to its own national security. We assess that Russia would consider initiating a cyber attack against the homeland if it perceived a U.S. or NATO response to a possible Russian invasion of Ukraine threatened its long-term national security, the agency said in the bulletin released to law enforcement partners, ABC News reported. Russia has a number of cyber tools it could use to attack the U.S., ranging from low-level denials of service to destructive attacks targeting critical infrastructure. The Hill has reached out to DHS for more information. Administration officials have pinned both the Colonial Pipeline attack, which shut down the flow of oil, as well as the attack on meat supplier JBS on attackers based in Russia. The Sunday bulletin noted Russian military assets have also launched attacks in Ukraine, pointing to attacks on the former Soviet state's power grid in both 2015 and 2016. We assess that Russia's threshold for conducting disruptive or destructive cyber attacks in the homeland probably remains very high, and we have not observed Moscow directly employ these types of cyber attacks against U.S. critical infrastructure, notwithstanding cyber espionage and potential prepositioning operations in the past, the bulletin said.
I hope that was edifying. With that, I want to say, call Allah, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Shalom, on to the next one.